गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Today we are starting Ishavasyopanishad. It is called Ishavasya Upanishad or Isha Upanishad. If you want a longer name, you can say Ishavasyopanishad. If you want a shorter name, you can call it Ishopanishad. Why it is named so? It is because the Upanishad starts with the word Ishavasyam. The Upanishad begins with the word Ishavasyam. Therefore, it is called Ishavasyopanishad or Ishopanishad. There is no other reason to call so. This Upanishad is a part of Shukla Yajurveda. In Shukla Yajurveda, just as in any Veda, there are two portions. One portion is called Samhita portion or Mantra portion. Another portion is called Brahmana portion. Mantra and Brahmana. Mantra is also called Samhita. Generally, an Upanishad occurs in the Brahmana portion of the Vedas. Most of the Upanishads are found in the Brahmana portion of the Vedas. But there are some exceptions. One exception is Ishavasyopanishad. Instead of occurring in the Brahmana portion, it occurs in the Mantra portion, in the Samhita portion. The Samhita portion of Shukla Yajurveda. Generally, all the mantras that are given in the Samhita portion are meant for performing certain rituals. Certain yajnas. Why there are mantra? Because they are chanted while performing some yajna. That is why the whole Samhita portion is meant for. Like we perform Rudrabhisheka, we chant Rudra Prashna. Even Rudra Prashna occurs in the mantra portion or Samhita portion of Krishna Yajurveda. Likewise, all the mantras of the Shukla Yajurveda Samhita, they are also meant for performing a ritual. Since this Upanishad also occurs in the mantra portion, one might as well think that this is also meant for some ritual. So you have to chant it while performing some homa. Then Shankaracharya says, it is not so. Ishavasya mantraha karmasu aviniyuktaha. That is how Shankaracharya starts his bhashya on Ishavasya Upanishad. These mantras, the mantra starting with the Ishavasyam, etc. There are a few mantras. I think 18 mantras. These mantras are not meant for performing any ritual. Karmasu aviniyuktaha. They are not meant for any ritual. Why they are not meant for any ritual? Shankaracharya says, they reveal the Atma Tattva. Tesham akarmasheshasya atmano yathatmya prakashanat. They are revealing the Atma. That is the purpose of these mantras. Any portion of the Veda which reveals the Atma Tattva, which reveals the truth of the self, it is Upanishad. It is called Vedanta. So even these mantras are talking about the truth of the Atma. And the Atma is free from all karma. The true nature of the Atma is free from all actions. Akarma sheshaha, Shankaracharya says. Akarma shesha means they are not related to any action in any in any form. Action, karma, exists in the domain of duality. If any action has to take place, there has to be factors associated with action. In Sanskrit, the factors associated with the action are called karaka. According to Panini, there are 6 karakas. First of all, the agent, the doer of an action. Karta, the doer. Then there is another factor, karma, object. Karanam, instrument. Sampradanam, recipient. Apadanam, source or origin. And adhikaranam, locus. 6 karakas. If there has to be an action, there has to be karakas. At least 1 or 2 karakas should be there, if not all. At least 2 karakas should be there. Karta and adhikarana. The agent and the locus. Minimum 2 karakas are needed. For example, someone is sleeping. Sleeping is also an action. You may say he is not doing anything, but sleeping is a verb. Shete means sleeps. How many factors are needed? One factor is the sleeper, karta. Even sleeping is a doing. You are doing something passively. It is a passive activity. That is why there are sleeping partners in some company. What is the sleeping partner doing? He is sleeping. But he gets a share of the profit. Even the sleeping partner gets the share of the profit. So there is the doer of the sleeping action. And he should have a place to sleep. Adhikarana, a locus. Where does he sleep? Grihe shete. Ramaha grihe shete. Rama sleeps in his house. So karta and adhikarana. At least 2 are needed. Factors. But in the case of Atma, it is one without a second. Ekameva dvitiyam. One without a second. Because Atma is Brahman. It is one without a second. There are no differences in Atma. There is no duality in Atma. Ekameva advitiyam. The Shruti does not even say one, because one is countable. Atma transcends all countability. It is infinite. In infinite, there is no countability. You cannot count the infinite. That is why it is ekameva advitiyam. It is not that there is one table, one sun, one moon, one earth. Similarly, there is one Atma. It is not so. If you just say one Atma, what comes to our mind? There are so many things in the world, and in addition to that, there is one Atma. But it is not so. Atma is not an entity. that can be counted in addition to various other objects in the world. In exclusion of various other objects in the world, you cannot count the Atma. Because it is the one and only substance. Ekameva advitiyam. There is no second object. And if there is no second, it transcends all countability. That is why the Vedanta says, Atma transcends all Sankhya. Atma transcends even number. So it is Ekameva Advitiya. There is no duality. And it can be explained in various ways. One way of explaining is free from all differences. We have three types of differences in the world. Sajatiya Bheda, Vijatiya Bheda, and Swagata Bheda. Sajatiya Bheda means a difference in the same species. One human being and another human being. What is the difference? Sajatiya Bheda. Both are human beings. But this human being is different from that human being. Sajatiya Bheda. Even if they look alike, they are different. Looking alike does not mean there is no difference. Sometimes they look alike. In fact, for a monkey, we all look alike. Whereas for us, monkeys all look alike. We cannot recognize which is this monkey, which is that monkey, which is Vali, which is Sugriva. Rama could not recognize. That is why they had to put a garland. So it happens to us also. But if you start taking care of the monkeys in your house, keep 10 monkeys in your house, you can try. Every day you look at the face of the monkeys. Then you will know which is Vali, which is Sugriva, which is Jambavan. Not Jambavan is not a monkey. Which is Angadha, which is Nala, which is Neela. You will know. Monkeys have various names. If you go through Ramayana, every monkey has a name. 33 crore monkeys, 33 crore names. So many monkeys are named in Ramayana. Not all. If you write 33 crore names, then Ramayana will never come to an end. So a few monkeys are named. So if you take care of monkeys, you will be able to recognize the distinction between the two monkeys. But if your guest comes, he will not know. All are monkeys, that's all. But you will know the differences because you are accustomed. Every day you see and you know the subtle differences between the two monkeys. One monkey will have a small mole here. Another monkey will have something else, some other feature. They don't look alike. One monkey will have a little long face. Another monkey will have a little rounder face. Differences are there. If our eyes are trained to notice the differences, we will be able to notice the differences. That is what happens if we go to China. Some of you have been to China, at least a few people I know. When you go to China, are you able to see the differences between the people? At least in your first visit, no. Every Chinese person looks alike. Every Japanese person looks alike. Because we see only the gross features of them. Likewise, if a Chinese or Japanese comes to India, everyone looks alike. Because they see only the gross features of an Indian. Slowly the eyes get accustomed, get used to see the subtle things, subtle differences. So it is Sajatiya Bheda. Difference in the same species. Difference in the same generality, in the same class. One tree is different from another tree. One table is different from another table. One house is different from another house. It is Sajatiya Bheda. Then there is Vijatiya Bheda. What is Vijatiya Bheda? Difference in two different species. A human being and a monkey. My difference from another object of another species. Human being and a stone. Tree and a stone. They are different. It is Vijatiya Bheda. Then there is Swagata Bheda. Third Bheda is Swagata Bheda. Difference within oneself in terms of parts. My head is different from my hand. My hand is different from my leg. I have parts, and there are differences in the parts. It is called Swagata Bheda. Within me there are differences. Within one object there are differences. It is called Swagata Bheda. So various objects in the universe, we can see all these three types of differences. Sajatiya Bheda, Vijatiya Bheda and Swagata Bheda. But then there is this Atma. Atma is free from all three types of differences. There is no Sajatiya Bheda in Atma, because there is no second object belonging to the same species. One Atma, another Atma, there could have been Sajatiya Bheda, but there is no second Atma. There is no second Brahman. Only one Brahman. Only one Atma. Then why there are so many people? The same Atma appears to be many. And the Upanishad gives the example, Drishyate Jalachandravat, just like the reflection of moons in various water bodies. One moon, but when it reflects in various water, you keep many pots. If you keep 100 pots, you will find 100 reflections of moon. And one who sees, he will find 100 moons. So, Eka eva hi bhutatma bhute bhute vyavasthitaha. One Atma is present in every being. The same Atma is present in every being. Ekadha bahudha chaiva drishyate. The same Atma appears manifold. Jala Chandravat, like the reflections of the same moon. So there is no Sajatiya Bheda. Similarly, there is no Vijatiya Bheda also. Even Vijatiya Bheda is ruled out by the Shruti. Because the Shruti says, the Anatma is Mithya. Everything other than Atma is unreal, Mithya. Atma alone is Satyam. Atma is real. Anatma is Mithya, unreal. Therefore, there is no second reality against who you can count the Atma. So there is no Vijatiya Bheda. Anatma is unreal. And you cannot have a real difference between a real and unreal. Therefore, Vijatiya Bheda is also ruled out. Likewise, there is no Swagata Bheda also. Internal differences are also not possible in Atma. Because Atma is Akhanda, Niravayava. Akhanda means without any parts. Nishkalaha. The Upanishad uses the word Nishkalaha. Free from Kala. Kala means part. Not art, part. Niravayava. There are no parts in the Atma. Therefore, there is no Swagata Bheda. So, all three differences are ruled out. That is why it is Ekameva Dvitiyam, one without a second. Therefore, there cannot be any action in the Atma, and Atma cannot be associated with any action. And these mantras of the Upanishad, they are revealing that kind of Atma. Akarmashesha Atma. Therefore, these mantras do not deserve to be meant for any ritual, any karma. Instead, they are meant for jnana. They are meant for understanding the truth, understanding our true nature. So, this Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, is one of the 10 major Upanishads. Just like any other Upanishad, even this Upanishad is talking about the truth of the Atma. The truth of our self. Who am I? If I have to find the real answer, I have only one source, that is the Upanishad. Who am I? We have our identities. Various identities are there. Aadhaar card. Even the Aadhaar card tells you who you are. Aadhaar card identity. It has your photo. It has your name. It has your biometrics. It has your address. Everything is there in Aadhaar card. So who are you? You can show your Aadhaar card. That is why Aadhaar card is meant. But this Aadhaar card identity is not our true identity. It is only a relative identity. It's a temporary identity. How long is this identity valid? As long as I am in this body. A temporary identity. What is my permanent identity? What is my real identity? It transcends the Aadhaar card identity. It transcends the passport identity. It transcends the voter card identity. And where can I find that identity? Go through Ishavasya Upanishad. It gives the true identity. The Atma. The Self. The Brahman. That is our truth. The Upanishad is not talking about something that happened long ago. The Upanishad is not talking about something that will happen in future also. It is not talking about past or future. Instead, the Upanishad is talking about what is now and here. Therefore, the Upanishad is relevant for all the time. It is never obsolete. Though this text was written long, long ago. In fact, Upanishad doesn't have a time frame. It was not written by a human author. It is apaurushaya. Unlike any other text that is written by human authors, the Upanishads, being part of the Vedas, they are not written by any human author. And they are talking about the eternal truth. And that is your own Swarupa. That is your own self. And this text has only a few mantras. And even among that few mantras, only the first 8 mantras are really talking about the Atma. Yet, they are the most profound mantras. The Upanishadic mantras are very profound and they reveal the truth of the Atma in their own unique way, in their own unique style. The first mantra is Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjithaha ma gridhah kasya svidhanam. We will just chant this mantra and do it the following session. Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyan jagat tena tyaktena bhunjithaha ma gridhah kasya svidhanam. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.